Modern manufacturing lines often look like this: high-speed, perfectly synchronized systems moving flawlessly. This represents the peak of operational efficiency. For many executives, building a system like this feels like winning. It relies on the assumption that executing standard industry processes flawlessly guarantees market dominance. But a paradox exists here. Companies that adopt the exact same industry best practices, buy the exact same software, and run the exact same efficient machines frequently get wiped out by their competitors. Efficiency is table stakes. It keeps you in the game, but it does not dictate who wins it. This matrix clarifies the distinction. It diagrams competitive advantage against operational efficiency and core competence. Competitive advantage is defined as a firm's ability to consistently outperform rivals by delivering greater value to customers or by operating at a lower cost. It is the definitive answer to why customers choose you. This top quadrant is walled off. For an advantage to exist, it must meet two conditions. It must be inherently difficult for competitors to imitate, and it must be sustainable over time. True advantage requires engineering a unique operational track that competitors are structurally unable to use, rather than outrunning them on the same track. In a commoditized global market, establishing a unique track serves a distinct financial function. It acts as the sole driver of above-average profitability. When any rival can replicate an offering, prices drop to the cost of production. Beyond margins, this structure provides a defensive shield. A well-constructed advantage protects a company from market imitation and rapid price wars, ensuring resilience when competitors attempt to undercut your position. Internally, it serves as an organizational compass. It tells leadership exactly what to invest in and precisely what they must decline to fund. This compass forces absolute alignment between the commercial strategy and the physical supply chain. The two systems must interlock completely. Without a defined advantage, supply chain expenditures remain blind operational costs. With one, those same expenditures function as targeted strategic weapons. Advantage manifests through 5 measurable archetypes. The first is cost leadership. Cost leadership requires being the absolute lowest cost producer in an industry. Superior scale, ruthless lean operations, and highly optimized supply chains create a cost floor that rivals cannot match. Differentiation occurs when a company provides unique value that customers willingly pay a premium for. This is driven by heavy investments in continuous innovation, brand equity, or extreme delivery speed. Operational excellence involves being systemically faster and more reliable than competitors. The defining metric here is superior on-time in full, or OTIF rates, ensuring customers get exactly what they ordered precisely when they need it. Network or ecosystem advantage occurs in platform businesses or mass supplier ecosystems. The structural value of the network increases exponentially as more users or partners join the system. Unique organizational know-how refers to deep internal systemic maturity. Examples include advanced demand sensing, predicting market needs using complex data, or highly integrated sales and operations planning, known as SNOP. Success in this grid requires brutal prioritization. A firm must commit to just one or two of these identities. Attempting to be world-class at all 5 simultaneously guarantees mediocrity across the board. A descending hierarchy of choices engineers these advantages. At the apex is the value proposition. This is the definition of what the customer values, such as cost, speed, customization, or reliability. The chosen value proposition dictates a specific strategic positioning. This step determines exactly where and how the firm chooses to compete in the broader market. That positioning dictates which core capabilities the organization must fund. These are the specific processes, technical skills, and software systems required to support the market stance. Those capabilities mandate the physical supply chain design. This step determines the network layout, where inventory is positioned, and the logical rules for sourcing materials. Execution excellence forms the foundational bedrock. This layer provides the consistency, discipline, and performance management needed to sustain the entire structure. Supply chain design functions as the physical, geographic manifestation of the commercial strategy. Engineering this architecture requires differentiating between order qualifiers and order winners. Qualifiers are the baseline standards needed to enter a market. Winners are the specific, superior capabilities that convince a customer to choose you. Identifying these winners requires sacrifice. This balance scale represents the physics of supply chain trade-offs. Optimizing for cost reduction inherently strains service speed. A network cannot be the cheapest and the fastest simultaneously. Navigating these trade-offs requires fit. Fit aligns a firm's commercial strategy, its physical supply chain operations, and internal organizational culture to firmly reinforce one another. A highly interconnected system of good enough processes is harder for a rival to copy than one isolated, best-in-class technology. Rivals can buy the same software, but they cannot buy the complex integration of an entire operational ecosystem. Defensibility is born from the complex geometry of how a company's internal parts fit together. Translating this theory into physical action dictates the entire network structure. It determines whether a company should construct a lean supply chain for efficiency, an agile network for responsiveness, or a balanced hybrid system. This framework provides the logic for solving binary operational dilemmas, such as deciding between making components in-house versus buying them, or choosing nearshoring versus global multi-sourcing. This comparison shows the difference between generic and strategic metrics. On the left, industry benchmarks conflict with the company's strategy. On the right, custom KPIs, like OTIF for an agile setup, map strictly to strategic priorities. Formal alignment processes, particularly integrated business planning, a management process aligning strategic, operational, and financial plans, force abstract strategic goals into daily execution. Even aligned systems face constant erosion. As seen in this visualization of a cargo ship in severe weather, massive global volatility is the primary threat. Rapid market fluctuations and supply shocks neutralize traditional cost-only advantages. Capabilities like sustainability and extreme operational resilience now function as primary differentiators that keep supply chains moving when competitors freeze. Advanced data lakes and AI software do not grant a structural edge. Data and software only yield an advantage if they are continuously translated into unique operational decisions that competitors are not making. Advantages are temporary. The ultimate core competence of any organization is its ability to renew its strategic fit faster than the market can copy it. 3 diagnostic questions audit an operation. First, what specific customer value does your operation actually deliver today? Second, why is it mechanically hard for competitors to replicate this tomorrow? Third, how does your physical supply chain actively enable or limit this advantage? A company's true competitive advantage exists only in what its supply chain structurally prevents competitors from matching.